Okay.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we are doing a Q&A session. So you are free to ask us whatever questions you might have.
No. You give people that much.
I'm giving y'all freedom.
Sweet Jesus.
But don't get crazy, like Von Kui says. Yeah, so I have some like pre-questions that were sent to us, which is awesome. And then if y'all think of anything else throughout the live, just let us know and we'll try to
pop up right here.
They should. That's what's
that'd be cool if somebody just says hi. It don't matter who you are. Just
right. If you're watching, can you say hey or something so we know?
Yeah, we got this new program, and we've yet to see all the capabilities of the program.
True.
So it's kind of like, it doesn't seem like Facebook.
Right. It's a streaming program that goes to Facebook and YouTube. And I guess it could go to Twitch and all that if we had all that, but we don't.
Yeah, we need to work on that.
So
we need to get a Twitch channel.
And then it's supposed to like show us comments that come up, which I haven't seen that in real time yet. So we'll see.
We always usually catch our comments after the video and stuff like that.
So I'm just going to start off. And if y'all have any questions for us as we go through, just type them in and we will get to them for sure during this session. If not during this session, we'll answer you on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you ask it at. So the first question I have from one of our friends is, do you have a hard time being married to a white woman or a black man? For me.
No, I don't have a hard time.
Like, does anybody pick on you or say things to you?
No.
Okay.
No. And I mean, most of the time, if I have someone actually come out their mouth with something sideways about me and you being together, it's usually, now don't get mad, black women, I'm so sorry, but it's usually black women that come across the table that says, hey, why you with a white girl? Black dudes don't really care unless they around their girlfriend and then they gotta care. Or they around their wife and they gotta care because their wife be like, look at that. And their husband look over and be like, what's up, man? And then he looks on, blah, blah, while his wife is sitting there going, looking us up and down. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal.
No.
I mean, we all got the same body parts. We just they have different skin color.
Different ethnicities.
Now, wait a minute. Let me not skin over that because black folks' plight in this country is way different than white folks. So I do understand where they're coming from, but I just don't understand why they care.
Right. Like with me, I think the main people it comes from is white men. And we have kind of touched on that in a previous episode where like I had an instance when I was younger where a white guy was like, why are you with a black dude? Like the black guys are getting all of our good women. And I was like, oh, wait, like I didn't know you owned me. And I didn't know you owned all white women just because you are white. And I think that kind of correlates into both races. Like we don't own each other. Like white women and white men don't own one another just because we're both white. And black men and black women don't own each other just because they are black. Like we're all humans. It's not like that. I mean, in my mind, like to me, that's demeaning someone to property value instead of just them being a person.
Are you property now?
No, I mean I'm your wife.
That don't mean you're
but
not property.
I'm not. You don't own me, and I don't own you.
Right.
So, not sure if that's how that was meant, but there's that. Um, do your kids experience racial injustice since they are biracial? Um,
That's a hard one.
it is. I mean, our one of our teenagers got in a fight in school when he was in elementary school in like an after school program because he got called the N-word. Um, like we've mentioned before, our 5-year-old, we've had to teach him what racism is, what slavery is.
At 5 years old. Yeah. You're right.
We've had to teach him that because someone said Black people should still be slaves. Went around calling other kids in the neighborhood the N-word, so we had to teach him
to the best of our
ability at 5 years old what that word means or is meant to mean. So yeah, he's had to deal with that already at 5. And then our other teenager who's not biracial, he is 100% African American. He had to deal with someone asking him to wear a MAGA hat in school.
Yeah. I would beat his ass.
So I mean, all of our kids have had experiences.
The thing with that situation, that I'm still mad about that, really, because if it was a Black person with a Malcolm X hat, I'm old enough to remember when we used to wear Malcolm X hats back in the day. They was all black with the white X in the middle. We used to wear them to school too, but when we wore them to school, the school told us to take them off.
Right.
I'm like,
I don't think you're supposed to wear hats at school, period.
No, you can wear hats. Really? Come on.
I
you see white boys in these schools right now, especially normal schools, wearing cowboy hats in school. Like, you can wear hats. You wear baseball caps. They just don't want you to wear any black
like gang paraphernalia.
But Malcolm X hats aren't gang paraphernalia. They turned them into that, but that's not really.
Are MAGA hats, are they? They're political, but they're not gang related.
No, they're not gang related, but it's more like you're showing your side. You just like if you were Crip and Blood, you walk in with a red hat on. If you were Blood, if you
which
got
I know in Norman you can't wear rags. Like you can't have the flags basically of
no, you can't have that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that shit makes sense.
Right.
But to walk in with a MAGA hat on, every adult in that school knows what that means.
Exactly.
So the first things first, he should have been, hey, you need to take that off. Yeah. This is not a place for that. This is a place for education, not a place to show your political affiliation.
Right.
In no shape or form.
But they shouldn't have been. Obviously, he didn't do that, but that kid shouldn't have been trying to make him do that either.
He should have been asking him shit. Like, to me, the schools I went to when I was young, kids knew who the fuck went, who not to.
Well, and our oldest child is super nice, like he's someone everyone gets along with, so they probably felt comfortable asking him
until you piss him off.
Right. Until he gets mad. Yes. So they probably felt comfortable asking him to do that, but he just blew him off, which he's good at doing that too. He was just like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Me, it'd have been a different story with me.
Right. So yeah, that's how our kids have had to deal with racial situations up to this point and what they've told us. Like, I'm sure they don't tell us everything that happens because they know we're kind of cray-cray when it comes to that.
Well, see, we also had a colorism deal happen to us just from my own teenager today. Like, we was taking pictures. We was taking pictures today. We was back off in the little wilderness, whatever, taking family pictures. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh, you real black."
Who said that?
Nick. Remember? You don't remember Nick saying?
No, I don't remember.
He's like, "You got jokes." So he goes, "Okay."
Nick's a mess. Okay, number 3. Have you ever had to withhold your spouse's race because of someone else's possible judgment towards you and your relationship? I'm going to answer this first and then you can think about it. I took this as like job related. And I have had to deal with this one time when we got serious. We were dating, we got serious, we got engaged. And as soon as we got engaged, my job that I was at started messing with me. And eventually they fired me. And that was after I brought him to a Christmas banquet. so, I have never at any job received a bad performance review ever in my life. So that was kind of shocking to me to be fired and like heartbreaking. And
so at that job, you couldn't be a Democrat or date a black person.
That person also mentioned that one of his previous bosses would fire you if they found out you were a Democrat. And he said that right in front of me, being like the only Democrat there. So, yeah, that's really the only time, though, that I've felt like I've had to withhold that information from an employer. My employer now doesn't care, you know. But yeah, I mean, that's how I took that question. Maybe you took it a different way.
Yeah, I took it a little different way. I mean, to me, I like when I meet people, like say if I meet guys at work, like, hey, you know, my name is Nick, and all of us are truck drivers. So if we're talking about our spouses, I always check people, see how they act. Hey, by the way, my wife is white.
Oh, you just throw that out there?
Yeah, just throw that out
there. Okay.
And but okay, if they act like, really? Oh, okay. Well, if they go to acting and all like they acting funny a little bit about it, then that's that type of person right there, black or white, black or white, because you can get dudes to be like, oh, okay, you one of them. What does that mean? And I said, I guess you just one of them dudes that just don't like black women, which is kind of weird. It's a weird question to me, being black myself. But
what do you do when someone says that to you? Like, oh, you're one of those dudes that don't like black women.
I say, what do I look like as a black man not liking black women? That doesn't make any sense. Right. And then I go forth and tell them, say, look, I wasn't hunting white women. It's like I didn't wake up in the morning and go, I just want to find me a white girl.
No, like as most of y'all know, if you've watched our videos, like we were set up together. We weren't hunting each other necessarily. I mean, that was a question that my friend John asked me. He's like, do you date black dudes? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't care, you know? But
so there you go.
Yeah. So no, I haven't ever really withheld that information. But maybe from that one particular job, I should have.
Nah, man, I hate that job.
This is probably a more for me question too. Do you ever fear for your children or your spouse because of their race? Yes, definitely. A lot of people don't have to. A lot of people I know don't have to, but every time he leaves the house, I worry about that. Like, where are you? Did your car break down? What small town Oklahoma are they sending you to? We call and text each other all day. With my kids, like, yeah, they ask me if they can go like run around the neighborhood lake. And I always say yes, but I have like an anxiety attack until they get back. Because
it seems like the nicest lake area to be at. I never grew up around stuff like this, so I'm new to it. But until we hear about something happening to someone back there, or somebody getting followed, or,
which has been recently lately.
yeah.
Like a lot of stuff has happened back there
What'd you say
lately.
those guys were going back there with? Was it Clan Hoods?
Oh yeah, one of our neighbors posted on our neighborhood Facebook page that he saw some people dressed up as the KKK and he called the cops, and I don't know whatever happened to that situation. But then our mayor got threatened on Thanksgiving, I think it was.
So I guess we
While
got.
she was running around the trail that I run around. So
Boy,
I mean, I'm not well known like that, so hopefully I don't really have to worry about that. But you never know.
these Trump folks, boy.
But I mean, yeah, I do have to worry about them. I just try not to think about it. But when a situation happens, like George Floyd or Terrence Crutcher or Ahmaud Arbery, like it re-puts it into that forefront of
This is a possibility.
yeah, like this can happen and it's scary, you know? And it's something that not a lot of people totally understand.
Um, the only one I worry about is actually Malcolm.
Yeah.
The reason why I worry about him because he's just 5. The fact that he doesn't know when people are picking on him at the moment. Like he doesn't. He just thinks these are all kids. We're all just playing around. And then, I mean, he's told me once or twice when somebody's poured water on him or something like that. But like he's not trying to fight people at 5 years old. That's just not what 5-year-olds think about. They think about. But he will. I've seen it. I walked
He will
outside.
fight you.
And he was pummeling some kid, and when he got up off the ground, the kid was like 10.
Yeah.
And my son's only 5, but he's
a
big 5.
Yeah.
And then I said, "What are y'all doing over there?" He was like, "Oh, we was just wrestling, and I was winning."
Right.
That's his mentality.
Like,
I'm like,
he
what?
didn't even know why he was mad. He didn't know why he was fighting.
Like you just over there fighting? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well.
Well, I mean, he does have enough sense to, like, if someone's being mean, but he doesn't know what they mean by it, he'll be like, oh, so-and-so said this, you know, and he'll be like,
he'll ask.
It just didn't seem right, basically. Like, he won't say it like that, but you can tell that's what he's
so
feeling.
That's the main thing I worry about is him being picked on or somebody trying to beat him up just because of his skin color. Or call him out of his name and he doesn't know what's going on, or one of the older kids jumping on him. Stuff like that is what I worry about. I mean, regular bullying, I don't really worry about that. That's just life lessons, but
and he can pretty much take care of himself as far as that goes.
But he's 5 and there's older kids out there, and he's the youngest.
He is, yes. He's the youngest in our neighborhood.
So, yeah, that's the only thing I worry about is my youngest boy. Yeah. But I'm gonna teach him to throw them hands in a minute.
Okay. How can I show my neighbors of color that I support them and the BLM movement without being awkward? So, say like a George Floyd situation happens and you have a black neighbor, but you haven't really like communicated with them other than to smile and say hi every time you see them.
That's the awkward part, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If you live next to someone or you live in the same block as somebody and you don't talk to them, that's awkward.
Right. Then if you like start talking them out of nowhere just because the situation happened.
I'm not saying like be like best buds, but I want to know who I live by.
Well, okay, like back when I was little, when neighbors moved in, the neighborhood people that lived around them would bring them like baked goods.
Yeah, I see that on all the white shows.
But that was real. Like that would happen. And when we moved into this neighborhood, I kind of expected that to happen. And it did.
You live with a nigga. You got a big old black dude. Ain't nobody coming to your front door.
Right. Nobody can door to door.
Look.
But it took about a year or two for us to like get to know our neighbors.
That's too damn long.
It is. But I mean, we eventually did get to know our neighbors. Like on Thanksgiving, we took the man across the street some food. We're friends with the neighbors that are like catty corner to us. We talked to the guy across the street. Like we talked to pretty much everybody on our cul-de-sac. And we know who our HOA people are.
But check this out. Our immediate neighbors, right, left and right of us. I don't think they hate us or nothing like that. But I've spoken 3 words, maybe 4, to the female neighbor right next door to us.
Yeah.
And the male neighbor, about 10 words. I catch him outside and speak to him, but he will not speak to me if I don't speak to him first.
He works a lot.
He's a farmer, I believe, but he just happens to live in Norman.
He was in the oil field.
The last time I heard, he was a farmer. Like his parents has a farm and he works it.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
But I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but
he's just not super
it's strange to
outgoing.
me. Yeah, it's strange to me that in these I don't say it, white neighborhoods, that these neighbors they don't speak to each other. And if they are speaking to each other, they beefing with each other. That seems to be more normal. That seems to be more normal to me than.
It's like people don't say anything to you unless they have a problem.
Right, like, your trash can's on the curb too long. Bitch, I know. I got teenagers ain't picked it up yet.
Right.
Anything else? You need something? You want something to come in and get something to drink? See, I mean, if somebody would just sit down and have a beer with other people, that would solve so many problems.
What you did with the guy down the street, like you came over and y'all chatted and had a beer in the garage.
I'm like that would solve so many problems. I don't even know how to tell you.
So I mean, would that be your recommendation?
Yeah, just get to know your neighbors before anything happens. Yeah. You don't really have to go to them and say, I am down with you because I'm down with Black Lives Matter. You don't have to actually say that because that is awkward. Which
I don't think that's what they were going to do because they're asking the question.
Look, it's awkward. That's why the question was asked.
Right.
But check it out. I'm not mad at you. I say that
I'm not mad at all because at least you're reaching out and you're trying to figure it out without being awkward.
I say it at the end of every video. Get a black friend. Just go when they outside. Like say if y'all outside, taking the trash out at the same time. What up, neighbor? How you doing? Walk up and shake his hand, shake her hand, whatever. Have a little short conversation. Mm-hmm. Like if my kids run outside, I want to know who your kids are. Like y'all got to stop with this stay off my lawn bullshit.
Right.
If you live in a neighborhood and there's kids in it, they're gonna be in your yard. They're gonna play basketball. They're gonna throw the football. They're gonna throw the basketball, the baseball, whatever. Right. I don't like little kids that tear up your shit, but like there's some kids in my neighborhood right now that won't stay off my boat. I mean, they just get up there,
which is dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
That's more of a if they hurt themselves, that's on us, even though we've told them a lot of times.
They bad. Don't get me wrong, they bad, but they're kids, so I gotta love them. They're kids.
Right.
I mean, look, all you gotta do, don't make it awkward. If way people know that you're down with them is just speak to them.
Right. Which we got suggested not too long ago to throw a block party, but that was don't do that with COVID. But that's a good way to get to know your neighbors. Yeah.
Throw a little cookout or something.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, we're throwing a cookout. I
guess you could do it socially distanced, Yeah.
And it don't cost that much. Like cookouts are actually cheaper than you would think. Just if you can find somebody that can cook, get some charcoal and a big grill and some utensils and go at it.
Right. Build relationships.
And if your ass can't cook, people tell your neighbor if he can't cook, don't do this no more. Do something else. Let's all meet at a restaurant or a bar or something.
After COVID.
Yeah, so it's not awkward.
No, yeah.
It's not awkward.
Just get to know people. before something bad happened.
Because if your dumb ass been living around me for 3 years and they come over and finally tell me, "Oh man, I can't believe Ahmad already got shot. I can't." Who are you? I don't even know you.
I
That's
mean,
awkward.
yeah, but you would probably handle that okay.
Oh, you know how I would handle it? I'd be like,
really? I would be like, oh,
it's so
thanks for
horrible. Yeah,
caring.
that's pretty cool. So, what's your name?
Right.
What is your name?
Right. Okay. Our last. Oh, the other thing is like just educate yourself on things that are happening around you. On that last question, like watch some documentaries, donate to some causes, get involved in your community, stuff like that. Like, you don't have to.
You don't have to put up the black fist every time you see it.
Yeah.
You don't have
You
to
don't
do
have
that.
to go like above
And I need
and
some
beyond.
lotion. Shit.
You don't have to go like above and beyond to show people you care. Just how would you reach out to your white neighbor if something happened? Like, say their mom or dad died, how would you handle that situation? Same thing. Ooh, this is a juicy one. How were you introduced to your spouse's family and were you accepted?
Oh shit.
I'm gonna let you go.
I don't do it. Look.
Be careful.
Be careful for what?
This is
look.
Be careful.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. Look. We met
2010.
And like our first couple of dates, the most accepting people that I know in my family were my brother and my sister-in-law.
Yes.
I'm not going to say his name. I'm not sure if he really wants me to say his name, but my brother and my sister-in-law they would have hung out with us at a bar. We all had drinks and asked questions. Yeah, I'm getting to it. Okay. Getting to that. My other sister was there. We all had a few drinks, clown, act a fool, whatever. But it come to find out, my sister had a problem that I didn't know about. Like, why are you marrying white girls? Blah blah blah. That was kind of weird to me. My mom acted funny during the beginning of our marriage. That was in our other house.
Yeah,
but that's a long ass story. But yeah, like I said earlier, the two biggest problems I've ever had between other people in my marriage is my mother and my sister. Now, I don't hate them.
And I don't either. Like,
yeah, I don't hate them at all. Like,
I don't understand it, but that's fine.
I don't even hold animosity. I just like people I disagree with. I just don't mess with them. I love my sister to death. I love my mom to death. I just don't mess with them. Like, I don't hate my mother or hate my sister or nothing like that.
Well, see, that was supposed to be my, like, you're supposed to be saying what happened with my family.
Yeah, I want to go to my family first.
Oh, okay.
I always got to handle this side of the fence first.
Okay.
But hey, if y'all one of y'all see them out there, if I see them around, if y'all watch this video, I love y'all both. So don't take it like I'm just trying to shit on you or nothing like that. We're just talking facts here.
We're answering questions from other people.
And now we go to
my family.
Her family.
Like,
her family. Okay, as a black man, you can always tell who's not comfortable with you.
Usually they're vocal about it by saying they're comfortable.
Yeah, man. I remember her aunt the first day I met her. And everybody was in the room. So imagine sitting in a room about 12 people.
And Polish people.
Yeah, so you got 11 white people and one black guy. So it was 13 people. It was me and my son. So he was young. He was like 7 or 8. Yeah, Christmas time.
I thought that was our first Christmas together and he didn't come with us.
I'm not sure. I could swear he was there. He went everywhere with me, I guess. I mean, I can't remember.
I want to say he went with his mom for that one because it was like our first Christmas together dating.
Okay.
Anyway,
And the first thing she does is walk to the room. What does she say?
she like brought up a story about Dallas, Texas, and how she used to work there and was like, oh, they had a problem with black people down there, but I don't. It was something like that. And it was like, oh, okay.
Her grandma was like,
my grandma was like, here we go. You know?
She like that old lady was a G, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was afraid of everybody. I wasn't afraid of anybody in the house but that old lady, man. And I looked at her when her daughter was talking, and she rolled her eyes so big. I was like, that lady cool right there. She's cool. She is. But yeah, man, like people are very awkward around me, especially your family. They're more of a they don't understand black people, so they're afraid of them type of deal.
They also don't want to ask any questions.
So they just keep it status quo. Yeah. Let's just keep it that way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so that and the fact that, you know, I know your parents don't feel this way now, but when I met them, they were like, oh, okay.
You didn't meet the resume criteria.
Resume criteria, as
like, okay, you were divorced. Oh, you were a single father. You
that resume.
Weren't college educated.
So I'm a dumb nigga.
No, just like you didn't have all these like things that they expected me to be attracted to.
Well, okay, good question. What did they expect you to be attracted to?
I think they were hoping. Excuse me. I think they were hoping that I would meet someone in college, and he would be a doctor or a lawyer or something, and I could just sit at home. They wanted me. I don't know. Oh, I think they're happy with my choices now.
They have no choice. They have no choice.
They true, but they're happy with their grandchildren for sure.
They have no choice now.
Yeah. So, but I mean, initially when we started dating, they were like, what do you see in this guy?
Like, he's gay. But that's the stuff you told them about him before they even met me, right?
Yeah. Like, you were way older than me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That hurts still. Like, you still talking about that.
I don't still talk about that.
Like,
I think you're more bothered by that than me.
I am. I'm absolutely bothered. I mean, maybe I'm not mature enough to.
Can't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, everyone he was with before me was older than him. And then he got with me, and I'm like 9, almost 10 years younger than him. So
that was a major difference. It's like, yeah. What am I doing?
Right.
Type of deal.
So.
But she uses it also to make fun of me every once in a while.
It's just easy. We all have the same aches and pains, but when he has the aches and pains, it's like, oh, you're such an old man stuff, you know?
That hurts. I'm just saying, like.
He could do it to me, though, because I limp around just like he does with my feet hurting and my back hurting and all that. But, yeah.
You gonna stop talking about me, lady?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I can't keep taking it.
But like as far as being accepted, by our families, we just hang out with the people that accept us.
That's basically what it is. Yeah. Which is my brother and sister-in-law. They're gold.
We see them almost every weekend, at least pre-COVID. I need COVID to be over.
We see her parents like every week.
Yeah, my mom helps me watch my kids.
We also every once in a while we go to see Uncle Jimmy, and sometimes he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna tell his business, but he's cool. He's really, really cool.
He's my uncle in Arkansas.
Really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
You want to ask any questions? No.
And that's all the questions I have.
What's
So,
those people? What is that?
that's just who's watching us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we had
How
a
come they
bunch
don't
of
show up here?
I don't know.
We need to get a new system.
No, I mean it showed up like while they were watching, but all these people at some point were watching. Just not at this exact moment.
If you guys have any other questions that might seem interesting or whatever, if it's really something fire, like it's a real fire question, we'll just hold it until another episode and basically bring it up in a different episode. Because if it's something that we remember, we'll just write it down and address it on the next filming.
Right.
It's probably this time next week.
Hopefully. It's honestly been very hard for us to put out videos, at least this last week or so, but hopefully things will
straighten back out.
Calm down. As much as 2020 can straighten out. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So if you take anything from this video, I know it's getting a little bit long. We've probably been on here for 30, 45 minutes. Yeah. If you take anything from this video, don't be afraid to speak to folks. That is dumb because we're all human. And if you're scared of black people, you watch too much TV, okay? Because all of us don't run around, trying to fight each other or everybody else for asking questions. And don't ask racist questions. And you can be an ally. If you want to learn and be educated on how things are, just open your eyes and see. Yeah. If you see stuff, understand it. And if you're sitting around other white people, and those white people will be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." You need to say something. Don't just be sitting back.
The biggest thing is speaking up against racism. If you are at Thanksgiving or Christmas or somewhere with your family and they start saying something, stand up for yourself and for other people. Because they probably are saying that because they think everyone's going to agree with them.
Right. Or no. Yeah, exactly. So I don't see there's much more of this conversation.
No.
Do you?
No. I think that was a good conversation. Good questions. All right.
So if you like, share, and subscribe, become a member. We also at the end of the week, we also address everybody that's new that came into our group. We appreciate each and every one of y'all that come.
Exactly. Invite your friends.
But
hopefully we can help educate.
We don't got thousands and thousands of subscribers, but one day we will.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Right. and
our videos.
And we'll appreciate each and every one of you when we do have that many people watching.
Right.
But we also need y'all to know to get a black friend.
Yeah. Have a good night.